Today we're doing the fourth set of notes and we're talking about solving exponential equations. At the top of your notes you're going to see a sentence that says if bases are the same then set the, and in the blank you're going to fill in the word exponents equal to each other and then solve for x. So for this section we're going to start off easy and we'll work our way up on the difficulty level. So here, because my bases of 3 are the same, I can kind of disregard the 3 and I'm going to set my exponents equal. By doing this, x equals 4. No work is required for that one. Letter B, again, the 7s are the same on both sides, so I disregard those and I'm going to set my exponents equal, which is 3x equals 9. To solve for x, we divide both sides by 3 and we get x equals 3. Letter C, again, I have the bases of 4. They match. So now I'm going to set my exponents equal. So 2x equals x plus 5. I'm going to subtract this x over to get all my x's on one side. And when I do that, I get x equals 5. Letter D, whenever you see a number like this on the right-hand side by itself, it's implied that there is a 1 there. So now that I have that filled out, I can now set my equation up of 2x equals 1. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals 1/2. For letter E, when I'm multiplying, I add my exponents. So this will become 5 to the x plus 3x. And in my next step, I can rewrite that as 5 to the 4x power. Now that I have consolidated the bases, I only have 1 5, I can now set my exponents equal. So 4x equals 3, divide both sides by 4, and we get x equals 3/4. Letter F, when we are dividing, we subtract our exponents. So this will become 2x minus 3 equals 2 to the 5th power. And now I can set those exponents equal of 2x minus 3 equaling to 5. We'll add our 3 over. And then we divide both sides by 2. And we get that x equals 4. In the next section, we're going to talk about how to rewrite the bases. So we just started off with some easy problems. Now we're going to talk about what happens if the bases are not the same. So here I have a base of 4, and it's my goal to rewrite that. So using your first page of notes from the radical chapter that has the chart of everything raised to a power, that's a good resource to use right now. 4 is the same thing as saying 2 squared. However, this 2 is still out here. And when I have power raised to a power, or whenever I see parentheses, we multiply our exponents. Same thing in letter B. My base is 9. I'm going to rewrite 9 as 3 squared, and the x is still outside. Now I multiply them and I get 3 to the 2x power. Letter E, the 9 I'm going to rewrite as 3 squared. And calling upon a rule from the last chapter, if I want to move this out of the denominator, which I do, I'll move it up, but when I move its place in the fraction, I'm going to make my exponent negative. Whenever I move its place in the fraction, you either bring the negative or drop the negative, depending on what you're presented with. Now I multiply them, and this will become 3 to the negative 6th power. Go ahead and try the other 3 in that section. So on the back page, we're now going to talk about solving when the bases are not the same. So to begin, I'm going to rewrite the right-hand side to have a base of 3. 27 is the same thing as saying 3 to the 3rd power. By doing that, now I have the same bases, which means I can set my exponents equal. Letter B, we're going to start by addressing that 49. So 49 is 7 squared. To get it out of the denominator and bring it up, I will make it 7 to the negative 2nd power. And now the 7s are the same. We set our exponents equal. 2x equals negative 2. Divide both sides by 2, and x equals negative 1. Letter C is a special property. 1 is the same thing as saying any number raised to the 0 power. So I could technically rewrite this as 2 to the 0 power. 3x equals 0. Divide both sides by 3, and x equals 0. That will be true for anything. So if my base was like a 5 here, I could say 5 to the 0 power on the right-hand side. In letter D, we're going to rewrite both sides. So the 25 needs to go and the 125 needs to go. So 25 is 5 squared. 125 is 5 to the 3rd power. On the left-hand side, to move that up from the bottom, I'll make it 5 to the negative 2nd power. And now we're going to multiply our exponent, so this will become 5 to the negative 4x power. Now that I did all this work, I have my bases. They are the same, so we set those exponents equal. So negative 4x equals 3. We divide by negative 4 to get x by itself, and we get x equals negative 3/4. Letter E, we're going to take that 2 that we see and divide it over. I think that's the easiest way to address it. So now I have 4 to the x power equals 8. And now we're going to rewrite both sides. 4 is 2 to the 2nd power. 8 is 2 to the 3rd power. Therefore, 2x has to equal 3. So x equals 3/2. And one final example. Again, all these 125s and 25s have to become 5. So in the numerator, I'll have 5 squared. In the denominator, I'll have 5 cubed. And over here on the right-hand side, that's 5 to the 1st power. Might help to add the 1. In the top, this will become 5 to the 6x over 5 to the 3x. And now we subtract those exponents. So this will be 5 to the 6x minus 3x. Let me go to the next screen so I'm having more room. When I subtract that, I'll get 5 to the 3x. And now I set my exponents equal. So 3x equals 1, divide both sides by 3, and x equals 1/3. So go ahead and try all the practice problems below. If you need extra practice, there's an entire another page in the notes that you can use as practice, and I can always check those.